We continue to follow breaking news. This is Mayor Vi Lyles. Last couple of months in office, she has announced that she is stepping down to spend more time in the golden years with her family and loved ones, including her grandchildren. So instead of seeing the end of her term, which would be another year and a half, she's going to step down, resigning June 30th, and that leaves the next step up in the air, as she has not endorsed anyone to succeed her. An interim mayor has not been appointed or talked about, not yet. So this is fresh news here this morning on WCNC Charlotte, something that we are watching. We have our Destiny Richards with the very latest. She'll join us at 11:30 for the midday WCNC Charlotte news at 11:30. In the meantime, we are getting some reaction. We have heard from former council member Tark Bakari, Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden, former Mayor Pat McCrory, and we just got this interview from at-large Representative LaWana Mayfield on reaction to the announcement. We're going to play this for you now here on Live Impact News.
Voters who just voted her in last year, who now, in the middle of it, she's leaving office. What does this mean for them, some who could be a little bit disappointed?
The disappointment could be real. The disappointment is real, but also what we must recognize is this is not the first time. During the time that I was on council initially, from 2011 to 2019, I went through 5 mayors. I came in with Mayor Anthony Fox. He had an amazing opportunity. We made an appointment. We had Claude Felter come in. We had a candidate run for mayor and be elected. He needed to resign. I think that as a community, we need to give grace and recognize that when people need to step away to take care of themselves, we all have a certain amount of time on this earth. Unfortunately, we have seen a lot of family members that have passed unexpectedly. I don't know if that's the case, but what I do know is she loves her family, she loves her grandkids. She's done her work. So I am going to support the fact that she wants to go spend time and watch her grandbabies grow up and not miss those special events, because if you have grandparents, you want them there at your recital, you want them there for your school projects. Now she has the time to put herself first after putting the community at the forefront for many years, and honestly taking a lot of hits from within council. And that is disheartening. I have, for all the years that I've been in office, I would say 12 and a half years now, even with me not being here for a couple of years, the level of discourse that I have seen over these years has been unprecedented. But I want the community to recognize that you have the leadership here that loves this community, that's going to continue to fight for this community, and the mayor doesn't have a vote. The only time the mayor has a vote is when one of us is not available. So out of the 11 council members, and that was structured so that you have a majority, which is 6, it's only when we have 10 that are there that the mayor has to actually be a tiebreaker, because it'll be 5 and 5 if that situation arises. Other than that, our mayor is our leader, our visionary, the person that's out having the meetings, having the discussions, talking to the corporate community and getting them to support $250 million to support our community. That is one of the roles of the mayor. It is not as a voting member of council.
Ms. Mayfield, I'm hearing what you're saying, and I appreciate all this. What I'm kind of gleaning from it is that the mayor may be dealing with some kind of a health crisis.
That's an assumption. So that assumption is an assumption that I'm going to codify. The mayor and I actually just had a conversation, what is today, Thursday, on Tuesday. So are there times where in the meetings she may seem like she might not have answered the question as quickly as we wanted? We all have done that. I'm 56. There have been times when I have thought of one comment that I wanted to make, but what I actually shared wasn't the totality, because I might have started the conversation in my mind and then made a response where I didn't give the total contextual of it, and then I'll backtrack and say, okay, for clarification, this is what I'm saying. That's a part, if we live long enough, if God is gracious enough to let us live long enough, there are going to be times that we all do that. Are there some times where community has shared that there's concerns? That's valid. Yet I'm not seeing, and I have not had her tell me directly that it's anything health related, but what we have talked about is every time that one of her grandbabies has been performing or presented something and she wasn't able to be there, or she was able to be there over the weekend, and we have a mayor pro tem. To be totally honest, the mayor really does not have to be at every meeting. She made a choice for many years, over a decade, to be at a lot of them. But you've also seen over the last few years her stepping aside and letting the mayor pro tem step into more of a forward-facing role. That's what should happen. That's what happened when I first came in under Mayor Anthony Fox. You saw the pro tem doing a lot more of the work in community and the dais. I just think it's interesting that we're trying to find a reason versus the reason being life. Reason, season, lifetime. She served her season. Now it's time for the next season, and she's chosen to use that next season to be with her family. We got to respect that.
I understand that, but I'm sure you also understand and appreciate that the first thing people are going to ask, considering she's been an elected official for over 10 years, she is beloved in this city, she's done a lot of good things. People, the first question they're going to go is, especially since this is so abrupt, why? What happened? Is there any type of insight that you can give us? I understand that you're curtailed in some ways, but...
Well, actually, I'm not. One of the good things is I've never been curtailed as a council member, but I will say that would be a question that you would ask her. And if she chooses to answer it, what I know is, and what I've seen and the conversations that we have had outside of the dais has really been around family. And I actually had a conversation with her months ago regarding how much longer do you think you want to do this, because you miss a lot. We miss a lot. We miss birthdays, we miss anniversaries, we miss celebrations, we miss life with friends because of the commitment. I personally would have liked for her to announce that she was not going to seek re-election versus creating a timeline. Yet I also respect the fact that, to me, she's given the community the real opportunity for whoever is going to come to us and ask for our vote to be mayor. She's given them a long runway to know that I am not going to be running, versus waiting until January of next year when we have a very short window for people to try to figure out whether or not there's support from the corporate community, from the voting community. She's given a long runway for someone else. I do think it's a valid question to ask her if there's more to it. She may or may not answer that question, but for me, I personally would have liked for her to just finish out this term, but I respect the decision that she made, because this is not an easy job.
Will you be running for mayor?
Heck no. And that is the nice version. I do not have that particular desire. I love the power of my vote, even though I'm outvoted many a time on issues, but I think history has shown a lot of the issues that I have brought up or that I've had concern about, unfortunately, has played out in ways that I particularly anticipated. And at the end of the day, I'm one vote. It takes a majority of 6. I'm on record for my no vote or my yes vote and why I land there. But being in the role of mayor is not something that I personally seek. I like the role that I have where I get to try to advocate and be a voice for the community. As mayor, I don't believe that I will personally have the ability to advocate for the community issues that I'm able to advocate for now.
Can you address the abruptiveness of this whole thing? It's a very hard stopping point in a month. Understand you can say so much.
Yeah, I don't have an answer to that. Like I said, if I had had a conversation with her and known that this was a consideration, I would have asked for her to just let us know that she's not going to seek re-election to create that timeline. But I also think about what we've seen on the federal level. When we had Sheila Jackson Lee, who did have clear health problems and diagnosed and identified health problems and chose not to step down and chose to stay in that seat, the gap that it created. When we had Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who clearly had physical health conditions, choose not to step away and just choose to stay in that seat, I think that created vacuums in our leadership that we're still trying to figure out. So for me, whether she made the announcement of I'm not going to seek re-election or to give a timeline, because you're also going to have people who say, well, why didn't she give us a timeline? So it's that balance of you can't make everybody happy. So she made the decision, I assume, and again, assumptions are not a good thing. I assume that she made the best decision for her and her family. I'm going to look forward to these next 30 days. I'm still going to push her on things that I think we need to be pushed on, but I'm going to respect the fact that she made a decision and she made a definitive decision, so there's no ambiguity in the what ifs.
Yeah, I'd like to ask a three-parter, just so I can sneak my thing in. I'd like to know, what do you think about, I believe it's James Mitchell, who will be...
He was the pro tem. Who said that?
Huh?
Who said that?
That's what we're kind of getting from the statute of like who steps in.
Oh,
but yeah, can you confirm
yeah,
if
so
that's happening, or what are your thoughts about who steps in?
So first of all, I would like us as a community to give a moment of grace and to thank the mayor versus the announcement was made today and we're already trying to figure out the next steps. The next steps are council needs to make a decision, which we've done this 5 times already. There's an application process that goes out to the community. I personally, outside of one time, and that was the very beginning when Mayor Fox received his appointment to Secretary of Transportation, and I supported a sitting council member, and that's because at that time, Councilmember Patsy Kinsey had been on council for more than 20 years, and she had already said that she was not going to be seeking re-election. I personally do not agree with any sitting member who may want to run for mayor to be into that role. I think we have an opportunity to have a representative from the community, whether it's a business representative or possibly someone that may have served in a different capacity previously, for them to apply that do not have intentions of running for mayor. It gives for some people, it gives you the impression that if we appoint someone that's sitting on council, then they should automatically be mayor. We should have a fair process where whoever is considering and wanting to run, that actually goes down, files, and writes that check for them to actually go to the community and build a support, both financially and through voter support, for them to be in that position. I don't want to give a...
You're watching LaWana Mayfield, representative at large for Charlotte City Council, have some reaction and comments about the announcement that Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles is going to step down. Last day is June 30th. We're going to have much more on that announcement and what that means moving forward for Charlotte City leadership.